Transformers 1 is a phenomenal movie. As someone who isn't particularly invested in the Transformers franchise, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. What stood out to me most was its impeccable pacing. Pacing is one of those elements in filmmaking that can make or break a story, and Transformers 1 nails it. The film tells the origin story of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons, or more accurately, it explores what life was like before there were Autobots and Decepticons. It's a prequel that dives into the roots of the conflict, and it does so with a rhythm that keeps the audience engaged from start to finish. Pacing, in essence, is the tempo at which a story unfolds. It dictates how quickly or slowly a scene or movie feels, whether it's slow and dramatic, fast and frantic, or somewhere in between. When pacing is off, even slightly, the audience risks losing interest. If it's too slow, they might get bored and tune out before the next significant event occurs. If it's too fast, they might not have enough time to process what's happening before the next thing barrels into view. Transformers 1, however, strikes a near-perfect balance. It achieves this by keeping its structure simple yet effective, alternating between two general types of scenes, slower dialogue-driven scenes and faster action-packed sequences. This alternation creates a rhythm that feels natural and engaging, ensuring the audience remains invested without feeling overwhelmed or bored. The brilliance of Transformers 1 lies in how it varies the length of these scenes. Sometimes you'll get a brief dialogue exchange as characters catch their breath between two longer action sequences. Other times, a lengthy conversation will be interrupted by a sudden burst of action. This variation keeps the movie dynamic and unpredictable, preventing the pacing from becoming monotonous. The result is a film that moves forward at an enjoyable pace, giving the audience just enough time to process what's happening without dragging things out or rushing through important moments. The movie opens with a dialogue scene that establishes the backstory of the setting. However, instead of relying on a generic flashback or narration, the film introduces the hero, who is actively listening to the dialogue with a sense of urgency. There's information he needs to obtain from the recording, and he needs to do so quickly, or else something bad will happen. The setup transforms what could have been a dry exposition dump into a tense and engaging moment. The content of the scene is essentially the standard in the beginning narration found in many origin stories, but because the hero is present and invested, it feels urgent and important. When he fails to get the information he needs, the tension pays off with an action-packed chase scene. This sequence not only showcases the hero's abilities, he's skilled at parkour but cannot transform, but also gives the audience time to digest the information they've just been given. They don't need to understand the specifics of the setting to follow what's happening. All they need to know is that the hero is running away from his pursuers. The next scene shifts back to dialogue. The hero and his best friend discuss what just happened. By this point, the audience has had time to process the information from the opening, and now they're given context. The hero was searching for clues to the location of the MacGuffin, a powerful artifact that, if found, would eliminate the need for resource mining. This provides a clear goal for the characters to pursue and is built upon by the following action sequence, this time showcasing the dangers of mining. It also highlights the hero's natural inclination towards heroism, even if it means breaking the rules. This moment establishes his character as someone who is willing to take risks for the greater good, which is crucial for the audience to understand as the story progresses. The next dialogue scene introduces the villain, Sentinel Prime, who is portrayed as the authoritarian figure who enforces the rules. The film doesn't try to hide the fact that Sentinel is the antagonist. It leans into the audience's expectations of a golden god emperor opposing an underdog hero. This scene could be described as a dialogue sequence, as it consists of two speeches from Sentinel. First, he announces a race, and then he officially opens it. The race itself becomes the next major action sequence, and once it's over, Sentinel confronts the hero. This back and forth between dialogue and action continues throughout the film, creating a rhythm that feels both deliberate and organic. After the race, there's a brief actiony scene that serves as a palate cleanser before the story introduces Bumblebee and reveals the location of the MacGuffin. Remember how the hero was searching for this very object in the opening scene? This revelation ties the narrative together and sets up the goal for the next action sequence, the Great Train Heist. This sequence is a standout moment in the film, combining high-stakes action with clever character dynamic. It's a perfect example of how Transformers 1 uses its pacing to build tension and deliver satisfying payoffs. The film maintains this rhythm of build-up and payoff throughout its runtime, and it's genuinely impressive how well it executes this structure. One of the fundamental rules of screenwriting is waste not, want not, and Transformers 1 adheres to this principle meticulously. There is no fat on this movie. Every scene serves at least two purposes, whether it's advancing the plot, developing characters, or setting up future events. Even the meta jokes are seamlessly integrated into the scenes, ensuring they don't disrupt the flow or feel out of place. Transformers 1's standout is its ability to balance simplicity with complexity. On the surface, the structure is straightforward. Alternate between dialogue and action, vary the length of the scenes, and ensure every moment serves a purpose. But beneath this simplicity lies a carefully crafted narrative that weaves together character development, world building, and thematic depth. The film doesn't just rely on its pacing to keep the audience engaged. It uses its pacing to enhance the emotional and narrative impact of each scene. The dialogue scenes aren't just there to provide exposition or break up the action. They're opportunities to delve into the characters' motivations, relationships, and conflicts. The conversation between the hero and his best friend reveals their bond and shared history, making their action in the action scenes feel more organic. Similarly, the scenes with Sentinel Prime aren't just about establishing him as the villain. They also explore the power dynamic and social structures of the world the characters inhabit. These moments add depth to the story, ensuring that the audiences care about what's happening beyond the spectacle of the action sequence. The action scenes, on the other hand, aren't just there to provide excitement. They're carefully choreographed to advance the plot and reveal character traits. For instance, the hero's parkour skills and inability to transform aren't just cool details, they're integral to his character and the challenges he faces. The dangers of mining aren't just a backdrop for action, they're a reflection of the world's harsh realities. Every action sequence feels purposeful, contributing to the overall narrative rather than serving as mere filler. Transformers 1 is a masterclass in pacing and narrative efficiency. It demonstrates how a well-structured story can keep an audience engaged without sacrificing depth or emotional resonance. By alternating between dialogue and action, varying the length of scenes, and ensuring every moment serves a purpose, the film creates a rhythm that feels both dynamic and cohesive. It's a testament to the power of thoughtful storytelling, and a reminder that even in a franchise known for its spectacle, there's room for nuance and artistry. Whether you're a die-hard Transformers fan or a casual viewer, Transformers 1 is a movie that deserves to be seen and appreciated for its storytelling prowess.